Sit down, shut your mouths,
and watch The Gift of Gabe.
Yo, party peeps, what is up? It's your boy, the Bass Gabber in the biz, the first wrestling show of 2025, and for specifically AEW streaming live on Max, is officially in the books, and man, did a lot of stuff happen. Ricochet shows Payback is a bitch, and I think he's finally cracked his bald dome. And let's be honest, if you don't like what happened on Dynamite tonight, you might as well just have to cope, because it looks like Jeff Jarrett is going to be going for the world title, just to die later. Guys, forget talking about everything that happened here on Dynamite. Let's just start gabbing about it. So everyone's like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean Jeff Jarrett's coming for the world title?" It was teased throughout the last week since World's End that Jeff Jarrett was seemingly going to retire. Had the whole boots out, had the no rah rah, I'm feeling go. No, should I do more? And he was like, I ain't. If you ever saw Wolf on Wall Street, you're like, I ain't fucking leaving. It's like, He wants to come for the AEW World Championship, which we got next week. A number one contender will be determined for Capital Carnage in 2 weeks against Moxley with the return of the Casino Gauntlet. Jay White already earned his way in thanks to a, assisted victory, I'll get to that later in the show, over Roderick Strong and whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve Strickland. Powerhouse House looks to be in it as well, and Jeff Jarrett has put his name in as well. I think it's either going to be Jay White or Jeff Jarrett. Jay White because he got involved in the main event, or Jeff Jarrett simply because, he fights for the title in 2 weeks and, dies. Which we're sick individuals because I'm for it. I'm really, really for it. Like Mox versus Jeff Jarrett and bringing the fight, and he did a lot of good stuff in the last 6 months, with Adam Page and just stuff like that. So I think he would bring a really good fight and then, lose and then just get murdered. Bloody mess all over the canvas. And then, Rated FTR maybe comes and saves him and sets up, that world title match. But either way, he said this is his last contract. I do think this is going to probably maybe be his last year. He's already segued into being a coach. So I think that's where mostly he's going to be, doing this thing. And he once said helping AEW get to Mexico. But honestly, I'm fine with it. A little bit because we get to just see him die. But he did a lot of good work these past few months. So I wouldn't mind him going for the World Championship and just a little, kind of thing. Literally, if he wins the Casino Gauntlet somehow next week and then fights for the title, gets murdered, done. Simple as that. It's effed up, but I'm fine with it.
holy shit.
Guys, at the end of the day, one guy in particular had a great night tonight above everybody else. It's probably Hangman Adam Page. He beat Orange Cassidy in a great match. The first match of the AEW Max era, which is already going great. Freaking place looked amazing. This whole thing, like I said, beginning of a second fighting period. Let's effing go. And he got to sit back, relax after kicking Orange Cassidy's ass. At post-match too, knocking down Christopher Daniels. He got to sit back, maybe with a little cold one, with the fire burning up behind him. Maybe he was in front of a furnace or something. I don't know. And he got to watch Swerve get screwed out of his chance at the world title in the Casino Gauntlet next week by who? Ricochet. Now, once this match was announced, I was like, okay, either Ricochet's going to screw him this week or next week. And it was this week. And look, Ricochet just proved a simple fact. You don't got to be looking like Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin to hurt people. God, all you need is a weapon. And his weapon of choice is a pair of scissors. And he just jammed it right into his head over and over and over and over and over again. And then, hit him with that little spirit gun, which I see some people knocking on that, which I'm like, okay, I want you to sit down and take this full speed, doink, right to the face. You're going to sleep, dog. You're going to sleep. It's not that deep. But either way, I loved the angle. This Ricochet, you could just feel I was just looking at him, just and not even breathing heavily. It's just dude, he's cracked. And then once Undisputed Kingdom came to help out Swerve, he's what we were doing this with his hands. He's giddy about it. I'm oh, Swerve broke something in that ball, that is, and it is great. I said it before at the end of World's End with that angle. I'm like, dude, Ricochet is putting the pieces together. They're putting it together, and he's going to join the Hurt Syndicate. That's right. MVP is reviewing him, re-reviewing him as we speak, and he's like, I like it a lot. And I'm telling you, by the end, honestly, if it were me and I had the pen, I would have Hobbs beat Takeshita for the international championship, and then I would have Ricochet dethrone Hobbs, his former friend, for the championship. Ricochet already in the Hurt Syndicate, and they are just on their collecting gold spree. So, great freaking angle. I cannot wait for them to have their match. Probably Grand Slam Australia. I said before, I think Ricochet wins at least one of these matches. Doesn't have to be clean, and Swerve won't be hurt by the loss. But this is going to be a great year for Ricochet. A great year and beyond, where we finally see exactly what us true believers of him have always known. He can be a world champion. And finally, we're going fully heel with him like he was before WWE. And now we can just let the magic happen by him scissoring the shit out of people's heads over and over and over again. Which, by the way, Hangman Def bought him a steak dinner for, so that's another plus. Guys, tonight it was rated FTR versus the Death Riders, Mox, Claudio, and Yuta in a trios match. Great match. Rated FTR win. A little help from Jay White because he wanted to pay back Wheeler Yuta for World's End. And we got some other big announcement, a new change come 2025, embracing the new year. He's now the rated R superstar, Cope. Oh shit! They took Adam Copeland to Cope, and Justin Roberts said it. I was like, "What? Wait, what did you say?" And then I look at the graphics, it's just rated R superstar Cope, and I'm like, "What?" And look, honestly, I don't hate it when the commentators are like, all right, here comes Cope doing the action. Doing this. They did that even when he was freaking Copeland. So I have no problem with that. Like, I can understand the argument on both sides. Some people are like, oh, dude, this is stupid. Come on, what are we doing? Some are just like, hey, it's fine. We'll just, friggin' Men in Black. Oh, forget this ever happened. And try to just, let's bully him into being like, can we try it again? One night thing. It was weird. Just call him Adam Copeland. Some people even just still call him Edge, that's why they're like, Cope is fine. It's whatever. But it is funny for the meme aspect, because it's like, hey, if you don't like the name change, Cope. I've already seen so many jokes about that, and I'm like, they weren't even calling him Adam Copeland. They were calling him Adam Copeland back when he showed up at World's End. So this definitely was like a 4-day kind of choice, either by him or by Tony. I feel like it could have been a Cope thing. It really could. See, I'm already doing it. It's a legit part of his name. So it's not like it's so random. I saw some people compare it to the War Raiders to the Viking experience. I'm like, that doing that with a team name. Cope is actually part of his legit name. I think they're gonna have it change back before we even get to AEW Grand Slam Australia. Being perfectly honest, I think they were just trying it out. I think they were just trying to be all right, Dax, Cash, and Cope. One word each, 3 or 4 letters. So it wasn't like Dax, Cash, Adam Copeland. So I get it in that sense. But I don't think he's going to have that name for the rest of his AEW career. I don't think he has that by the end of this year. I don't even think he has that by the time, like I said, we get to Grand Slam Australia. I think it's something they're trying. Give it maybe till the end of the week. See some responses, because Copeland probably will. And just be like, I'm not feeling it. Or maybe he's just going to be like some are taking it. If you don't like it, Cope. Because in that sense, it's kind of funny. But hey, at the end of the day, he does what he wants. If he has a great match with Moxley that I'm pretty sure he is going to have, then I honestly really don't care. But it's pretty funny. And it's a simple message is simple for now. If you don't like the name change, Cope. Okay, guys, that is Dynamite. We are done. Put it in the rearview mirror. We are done. First wrestling show of the year, and it was awesome. Cannot wait to see the rest of what AEW does in 2025 and beyond. It's going to be awesome. The Max Road is just, it's already going so good. The vibes, man. This is it. It's so sweet. However, we must move on. It's first SmackDown of the year. First 3-hour SmackDown ever. We're obviously going to see Cody and KO keep building up their ladder match for the WWE Championship or Royal Rumble. You know how I feel about that. It's whatever at this point. Will Roman Reigns finally show up to combat the new bloodline after they've been kicking his guys' asses for weeks? Seriously, dude, what are we doing, Roman? Come on, Sammy just got whooped freaking twice in 1 week. This is bullshit. And then after that, it's the first Raw on Netflix. Basically, 3 huge matchups in Rhea versus Liv, last woman standing, Punk versus Rollins, and Roman versus Solo for the Ulafala. It is going to be crazy. It's a whole new era for both WWE and AEW. Streaming platforms, peaks, wrestling, and storylines all to come through this year and beyond. You're not going to want to miss any of the shows going down. You're certainly not going to want to miss what your boy, the best Gabe in the biz, has to say afterwards. So keep on liking, subscribing, and all that cool shit, because the year may be different, but the goal and mission and basically the basic information y'all need to understand never ever changes. And that's always remembering that when it comes to talking wrestling, who better to gab with than Gabe right here. Okay, you guys, hope you enjoyed the first Dynamite of the year. Happy New Year, and deuces fuses, and I'll see you guys after SmackDown this Friday. 3 hours. Should be fun, right?